are still in our birthday month. Happy birthday, Tab! So today, we're gonna hear from none other than Lance Wheeler. He is the curator of our newly renovated chapel. Y'all lean in as he shares how we can preserve our history.
I've had the privilege to serve as the Vice President of Learning Engagement at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. It is the second largest African American museum in the country, but also I work with civil rights families. Particularly, I'm the Director of Programs for the Medgar and Merle Evers Institute in Jackson, Mississippi. Medgar Evers was the field secretary for the NAACP, who was assassinated June 12, 1963. I also help organizations have difficult conversations around history or other subject topics. Being a Black museum practitioner, the work is not easy. My background is in civil rights, so I've had the privilege to help open up the first state-funded civil rights museum in the country in Jackson. And I think the challenges behind that is most of the time our institutions are not led by people that look like you and me, right? Some of our institutions are ran by white men or white women. 98% of museum boards and directors are white, and the other 2% is not African Americans. We make a very small portion of the field, but yet majority of our stories are being told not by us. And so being a young professional trying to figure out how to tell the truth, right, and honor our stories can be challenging, where sometimes institutions don't align with your own personal goals, right? Because museums were founded in white supremacy. Right? And so how do we counteract those narratives? It's always been challenging, but yet then also under this current administration that we're in, art and culture is being attacked all across the board, Black, white, brown. But the issues or challenges that we're having as Black institutions is really, now we have to think about diversifying our funding, right? It can't just come from corporate or federal dollars, but it comes back to how do we do this work as a grassroots approach, right? Because that's how Black museums are actually founded, in a grassroots movement approach. And we kind of got away from that in some areas. And so now we have to go backwards to really rebuild and open new doors within our community. And so I volunteered at a museum in Charlotte, North Carolina called the Living of the New South, where I saw and witnessed a brilliant Black woman by the name of Dr. Brenda Tyndall, who's now the first Black person to ever be over the Harvard Museum Division, who's now also the first Black person ever to be chief curator of the entire campus. And so witnessing her and how she engaged with history and made it conversational, really from that moment was like, yeah, this is what I should be doing. My son is 10 years old and I have to prepare this young Black boy to be a Black man in this country, right? And so history and museums allowed me to do that. I've had to learn to enjoy this process because I was a first in a lot of many ways. In my career blew up very quickly because sometimes I was the only one or I challenged the system. And so enjoy the process. This is the first time I sat back and said, oh, I've done these things. Let me enjoy it. Everything doesn't have to be a competition. I took my competitiveness and made it into my work. And so slow down and enjoy it.
Tag family, tag, you're it. It is our turn to be advocates of our own history. Lance, thank you so much for sharing your passion and doing your part in advocating for our history. Thank you so much for worshiping with us at the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church, a local church making a global impact.